100,000 subscribers, time for another Q&A, the fourth one. Thanks for submitting your questions and let's dive into it now. Dear viewers, subscribers and donators, thank you so much for your support in the last years. We made it to 100k subscribers. I have not received my silver play button yet, but when I do, I'll let you know. What I did receive were a lot of questions. As said before, I cannot answer them all. I used to reply to each comment under each video. That's not doable any longer. I do keep an eye out for long-time followers and those who comment questions regularly. All right, let's start. Hoe gaat het? How's it going? Well, I'm doing very well. I'm still a little bit overwhelmed by the enormous successes of the channel, by all the replies and responses, and I feel the urge to reply through them all, which I already claimed I'm not gonna keep doing that because it's simply undoable by now. Good news, I'm gonna move into a new apartment. It's more spacious, so therefore I hope to create a special video corner. Do notice that I'll be busy with moving from place to place, so probably I will release one video per week in this month instead of two. Many people asked about my travel plans. First and foremost, my very first Patreon who is still on board, Hector, he asked what my plans are, and he also asked if I will visit Albania. Albania surely is on my list to visit. Also, Rob asks my vacation plans. I want to give the Kaliningrad Oblast a second try, since back in 2020 I couldn't go there because of the pandemic. Also the Czech Republic I want to visit. I have a lot of content to shoot there, and also Greece, but I have to look at what is possible, so I'm really pragmatic in that sense. And I hope this also answers the question of patrons Griffin Liu and Susanna Di Bella. She asked about Count Dona. It's a very interesting story. I actually did make a video about the evacuation of East Prussia, so if you're interested in that, I'll put a link in the top right corner. Thank you so much for your support, guys. Patron Joe McCardle asks, did you ever serve in the Dutch armed forces yourself? This doesn't count, right? Well, in that case, no. Joanne, what is your favorite historical topic other than World War II? And would you ever be interested in making a video about it? Love your videos and congratulations on the 100k. Thanks, Joanne. I find Dutch colonization very interesting. The Dutch East Indies, while I visited Indonesia. I like to visit the area that was formerly known as Dutch Brazil one day. I know you make videos on your own. In the past, you did some videos with friends. Do you make videos on your own, or do you think that sometimes it could be better if you had a crew around me? Congratulations with 100k and keep up the amazing work. Joanne, thanks for your support. I like making videos with friends. It's really cool. I did that in the past. But the problem is when you make videos with other people, you have to depend on them. I, preferably like to work on my own and with my own speed. But I'm always looking for things in the future. If there's like some historic location and we can do some reenactment, that would be really, really cool. And then it would be really cool to have a small crew around. So who knows? The Dutch asks, do you listen or like classical music? If yes, which piece do you like the most? I like classical music from time to time. I have no favorite piece. When I stayed at my grandparents and I woke up in the morning, my grandfather was always up really early. So I came down and he was sitting there in the living room peeling fruit, and there was always classical music in the morning. So I have great memories of that. And my grandfather Jacob, he basically awakened my fascination for history. I made a video about his post-World War II experience on Dam Square in Amsterdam, so I'll put a link and check it out if you have not already. And there's also the answer to the questions of Shane and Gary, and an awesome boy. So it was my grandfather who got me into history. Tanya Dixie, hiya Stefan, sorry for the late post. I would love to know who would make your dream dinner party list. Keep up the awesome work. Your channel has kept me sane and entertained during the pandemic. Well, mostly sane. Cheers. Cheers to you as well. I would invite friends and family, of course. And if I had to dine with a historical person, I pick Gerardus Mooijman. It was this Dutch decorated Waffen-SS volunteer who after the war repented. And it would be really interesting to listen to his stories, his motives, and how he reflected on all that has happened. A lot of questions are video requests. Will I make a video about topic X, Y, Z? And the answer is, it depends. I've created a lot of videos. By now, there are over 370 videos on the channel. And some of you may think that I produce these videos really quickly. But do notice, each video costs me between 10 and 15 hours to make. Sometimes a little less, sometimes more. In order to get so much work done, I need to have some reward, so to say. And there are basically 3 checkboxes. They don't have to be checked all 3. One is good enough, but if I can't check either one of these 3, the video most likely will not be made. The first one is, am I interested in the topic? In some topics, I'm more interested than others. So if I'm not interested in a topic, it takes me a lot of effort. 2, is it easy to research? Do I have background knowledge? Or do I have to start from scratch? Do I have concise research material? Or do I have to read a whole book? And 3rd, will it be watched? Will it do well on the channel? So let's take, for example, the Russian Revolutionary series. I'm interested in it, yes, but I do find it hard to research because it's fairly complicated. And these videos didn't do really well on the channel, except the one of the Red Terror. So that's why I basically put the series on hold for a while, but I do want to continue with it in this year. And that's why you probably will not find videos about the Napoleonic Wars on this channel. First of all, I'm not that interested in it. Second, I'll find it hard to research, so it will take me a lot of time. And 3rd, there are channels with videos about the Napoleonic battles way more detailed, way more better produced than I ever can. There's channels dedicated to ancient history who make amazing stuff. Go to these channels, I'd say. I do want to visit Den Haag and cover history on location, which answers the question of Risky slide. Thanks. Socrates Ouroboros, as Dutch people, we have a glorious past that is not emphasized at school. Shame, I guess. Personally, I think the history textbooks are fairly well balanced. So you can check out my videos on that topic. I'll put them in a reply to you, which also answers the questions of BA and Body in the Sky. How do I teach? Well, what is important when you teach is that you apply a variation. I start off with what are we going to expect this hour in class? Then I'll give a recap about the previous lesson. Then I'll give them a short assignment. Then, for example, a short video. Then I give some more information and then another assignment. So that's basically how I teach. Variation is key. Galahad Historytelling. Your channel name and your profile photo as well as the banner all refers to medieval times. When I then look at the content, I don't see medieval content. So that's kind of a thing you need to fix. So either you need to create medieval content or you have to change the channel name, the profile photo, and the banner. There's basically 2 types of content you offer. There is history gaming and there's history content. I'm not really interested in the history gaming aspect. Here you see, I thought I would see a series about the American Civil War, but instead of that, I see you gaming and shooting the crap out of Union or Confederate soldiers. However, when I watched videos about Polish history in World War II, I found these very well produced. Focus on history content or focus on history gaming content. Personally, I'd say focus on the history content, since I think that's very well made. Listening to your accent, you are from Poland yourself, which is great. Poland offers a lot of history you can visit, also related, to Germany, Russia, and Austro-Hungary. So I'd say do that, visit locations like you do have done right here, which is really good. It's you need to focus. If you aim at everything, you hit nothing. So make a decision. Where are you going to focus on? Try to release at least 1 video per week. Do that for several months. Then you check, okay, which video did best, and then you're going to expand on that topic. Good luck. Pelia, that a non-World War II question. You seem to have done a fair bit of traveling, at least around the European continent. Which major city has been your favorite so far, or which city surpassed your expectations the most? What surpassed my expectations was Kharkiv in eastern Ukraine. I thought it would be a really gray and depressing city, and it actually was a pretty cool city. And I really like, one of my favorites are Warsaw in Poland and Lviv in western Ukraine. Vito, hey Stefan, as someone who lived in the Netherlands, Haarlem for a while, I absolutely fell in love with Dutch history. What is your favorite period of Dutch history? Well, that would be World War II and the colonization history of the Dutch East Indies. The Luxembourgish Empire is back at it again. How much free time do you get considering you make such excellent videos so quickly? Hopefully you have a great 2022. Well, thanks. What also keeps me going is that a lot of the stuff I do, especially the editing, I found really relaxing. The editing, everything is done. You just, it's like basically you put the puzzle together. And that's for me really relaxing. So I can edit in the morning, the afternoon, the evening, at night. It's all fine for me. So a lot of the work I do doesn't really feel like work. I can enjoy free time, but I haven't touched my PS4 for quite a while. So I was hoping to do that during the Christmas holiday, but then I went on a trip to Belgium, which I thought was way more awesome. Paul asks, 1. What are among your favorite English language World War II documentaries? I haven't watched that much documentaries, but I really liked the World War I in color when it just came out. It was for me like mind blowing to see like color or colored images of the First World War. 2nd, which modern day historian of the Second World War are in your personal pantheon? That would be like Richard Overy, Robert Cetino, David Glantz, and Stephen G. Fritz, and I probably will forget some. Nikki, what is your main personal reason for starting a channel? Reason for starting the channel, I explained in a previous Q&A. It was basically combining my passion for history, teaching, travel, and video making. Subha Mishra, what is your favorite era in history? Your favorite short-lived state? Cause that's the thing you like the most. Favorite era of history, 20th century, mostly World War II. I think my favorite short-lived state I still have to cover, I believe was the Batavian Commonwealth or anything. It was like, there's like a few of these short-lived states during the Napoleonic era in the Netherlands. Hey, maybe I'm still gonna cover something Napoleonic regarding the Netherlands. Who knows? Mike West, longtime follower and also active supporter via Patreon. Thank you so much for your support and your ever enthusiastic words and replies. Oh, I'm dreaming. I had to read every comment first. What is your favorite meal? Indian food. What's a great memory you have growing up in historical Europe? Going on holiday with my parents. It was just to a camping site, so not much historical, but I have great memories of these holidays. Ever going to visit Canada or the USA? I haven't visited Canada yet. I did visit the USA. Now I mostly visit countries that are easy to access, and the US will be tricky because I have an Iranian stamp in my passport. And also I want to go to places to cover history and location. Now I'm not saying that Canada and the US have no history, but I personally am more interested in the histories of historical Europe. I recently was speaking with some colleagues and they said about like a possible study trip to Canada. Well, then I'll be first in line to enlist for that. Will you please write a book? Thank you so much. You're welcome. No, I'm not going to write a book. I'm not a writer. I'm a video maker. Colin G, he asks about the Channel Islands. I eventually will go there. I don't know when. Caleb Churchill, historically Basque food in the Netherlands. Poffertjes. And do Dutch people have their own special clothing fashion? Do Dutch people have any sense of fashion at all? That's an interesting question. I'll leave that to you to decide. Jim99 West, what happened to all of the small arms found on the battlefields by civilians after the war? It really depended. I have an interesting story about that. A part of my mom, he had older brothers who were around in World War II. And near the end of the war, they saw German soldiers dumping their rifles in a nearby canal. eventually these kids, they swam in the canal, they got these rifles, and then they started shooting at street lanterns with their newly acquired Mauser rifles. Soon a police officer came and confiscated these rifles. A good question by Brandon Bray. Which army do you think was the most stylish or fashionable during World War II? Well, I think you know which armies were the least fashionable during World War II. The horrendous Hungarian tapered trousers, or these wretched looking Italian big baggy trousers, half-ass putty things. Most fashionable, I do believe I like the French World War II uniforms. I mean, it was basically this, but then in khaki. I think that would be my favorite. I do like the Dutch KNIL uniforms till 1942. Shane, will you talk about a World War II film such as Downfall, Das Boot, or Europa, Europa? No copyright issues. Sensible Shinshan, how did COVID affect teaching? It was basically going from lockdown to lockdown. This week we reopened again. Whichever new rule comes first, I'll welcome it. But yeah, it's kind of annoying, but we'll manage. Piet Hein, what country would you really like to visit sometime? Colombia. Where does your fascination for short-lived states come from? Asks Tony. It was basically, I believe, a video about Geography Now about the topic. Ernst Bobby and the rest, do you think war will break out between Ukraine and Russia soon? I don't think so, and I hope I'm right. Edward, do you have plans to go full-time YouTube? No, I like teaching too much, so I'm not gonna quit that anytime soon. Most interesting fact about the Second World War, I'd say that not all Germans were Nazis and not all Nazis were German. Stepanov, are you religious, would you say? I'd say I'm agnostic. And Jaap Aap, do you want children? Perhaps I'm open for it, but we'll see how things develop. I hope you found it interesting. Sorry if your question was not answered. It is what it is. You can find the previous Q&As in the pinned comment below. I want to thank you for watching. If you sit the whole Q&A through, thank you so much for your ongoing support. Keep liking, watching, sharing, and if you can, donating, because it means the world to me and I can make this channel even bigger in 2022. Again, best wishes for the upcoming year. I wish you all the best, and if my videos help you with keeping sane, well, it's an honor and it's a pleasure. See ya.